Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Middle and High School Chorus Professional Learning Community on the Georgia Department of Education platform. This platform was created for educators to collect, collaborate, and support one another. Be sure to set up your notifications to your liking and check back to engage in discussion as often as you wish. Please share this platform with your colleagues so we may continue to grow and share beneficial information specific to middle and high school choral education. The more colleagues active yields more opportunity for us to share and grow from one another. If you have not registered, make sure you do so and share it with a friend. My name is Brandy Dent, and I will be your virtual professional learning community lead for middle and high school chorus. These three webinars have been about the great beyond, the activities that happen outside of the core classroom. Webinar A was about field trips, webinar B about concerts, and this webinar is all about fundraisers. Yes, you do have to make a little money for your choirs, so you might as well listen up. Here we go. So, here's some great ideas that can start you off for a great year so that you can raise money for your students. One idea is group sales. Candy, cookie dough, poinsettias, popcorn, raffles, you name it. Your students can do it as a group. The more the merrier. You can combine with your band students. You can do anything you'd like to do. Just make sure that you set up something to where your students at least once a year are selling something as a group where they're gaining prizes for themselves individually. The next thing, performances. Yes, you can make money through your performances, from talent shows to concerts, musicals, and even variety shows. So make sure that if you haven't done a talent show for your school and there's not one there, take control of it. You can make $5 per adult, $3 or even $1 for your core students to show up. And you may have a few acts or you may have a lot. So try your best to do something in the year that allows you all to perform and make money while doing so. Host an event. Maybe you can host a movie night at your school, a karaoke night, a pancake breakfast, a spaghetti and song. These are just some ideas that I've come up with over the years, but if you can literally provide the location for an event to take place, the options are infinite. So please try to come up with something that allows you and your students to make money. And let's not forget the free money where you have to work just a little bit for grants. There are some grants that are happening locally, state, even federally. There are businesses that are in your community or maybe on the internet that will give you money, and there are websites designed specifically to get you financial support for your group. It does require a little time on your part, but if you see in the corner, I got money for my kids. It was an easy way to get us $1,000. We got keyboards, headphones, we got an iPad. There's just so much that you can get, but you just got to do the work for it. So make sure that you take some time to figure out how you're going to make money for your students and the best option for your district. These are some fundraising ideas that I found directly on the internet. I'll stay here for a second to take a moment for you to read through them. Anything works. I need to try a fashion show. That would be fun. Game night. University challenge. I wonder what's that about. Car washes are always great. Dinner party, dance, marathon, 80s night. I see that at the bottom. It's family fun day. We've done that and it was free actually. We just sold food at the event. We got some blow ups, and the parents showed up. It was a celebration for the students right after school. So it went from like 3 to 5 where the kids ate free. It was like their end of the year celebration. And then at 5 o'clock, the kids could stay longer as long as their parents showed up. And then parents ate food too, but they had to pay. So it was an easy way to make some money. So keep those in mind. Now, some steps when you start a fundraiser. Set a goal. Know what you're doing. If you're creating a budget for yourself for every year, know how much money you need to make at this fundraiser in order to reach your goal. So set a goal for your students and set some prizes for them if they reach those goals. Usually, when you have a fundraiser, there's a person that comes in to talk to your students. They normally help you set up some prizes or some particular goals for your students to reach to meet those prizes. But if not, you do it. It could be so easy. And then decide on your event and set a deadline. I usually give my students about 2 weeks to sell something. If it's like a fundraising campaign where we're selling items, but if it's just like an event, like a concert, I put a flyer out there and let people know when it's due. Sometimes I let my students sell tickets for it. Sometimes I don't. It just depends. So always see what works for you all and then advertise. Distribute those details, send reminders, make sure that people know what's going on in your school and with your group. Send an email to the teachers, they'll buy too. Just do whatever you can to get the name out there that you all are having an event or a fundraiser, that you want them to help you all reach your goals. So during the fundraiser, you have about 4 people involved. Usually it's the student, your bookkeeper, and your parents and your recipients, the people or the donors who are giving you money, and wanting a product. So for your students, I have them usually raise money individually to reduce the cost of whatever it is that we're doing for the school year. If we're going on a big trip that costs $350, those kids will be more prone to raising their own money individually, if they know what goal they're trying to meet. And keep record and receipts. When a student turns in money, make sure they put their name on it. They put how much, you've counted everything, and that way you'll know exactly what part they've played in the fundraiser. Because sometimes if you have students that have not competed or have not done anything, those funds don't go to them. So make sure that you know and keep an accurate record of what each child has done individually. Your bookkeeper. The first thing you make sure you do is get approval. Make sure you're approved to do said fundraiser. Turn in all of your funds as soon as you've collected them and check for accuracy. When a student gives you money, always, always, always make sure you count it. If there's a discrepancy, make sure that you let the parents know immediately. And of course, thank the donors for their support. Update your parents and community on the progress. And if there was a major purchase that you needed to make because of this fundraiser or because of that donation, send pictures. Let them know, hey, we appreciate what you've done, and this is what we want to do is send you a thank you. This is what you purchased for us. Make sure that you do that. And then after the fundraiser's over, send those thank yous, those emails, texts, phone calls, letters, cards, tag them in a post on social media. Just make sure that you tell them we appreciate your help. Purchase the material, and take photos and celebrate that victory. If you met that goal, show everyone that you met it because of them, and make sure that you purchase either the material through fundraiser or the materials that you were trying to get because of the fundraiser, and distribute those fundraising materials. Ensure it goes to those purchasers. And in the event that one child or that one person didn't give those people what they ordered, refund if necessary. And sometimes that does happen. Make sure that you communicate with the parent should you know whom it was that did it. But no matter what, if there was someone that purchased and gave their money and they did not receive their items, make sure that you refund or replace those items. There are a few more tips for fundraising. When your students are selling something, make sure they have envelopes or Ziploc bags so that they can keep everything together. Collect money that has been labeled with the students' names on it. Make sure that they always put their name on it, because I have students all the time. We could be in the cafeteria, they'll just try to hand me money and I'll forget who gave it to me. So always make sure that when you collect money, it's labeled with the students' names on it. As I said earlier, count the money immediately. You don't want even a discrepancy of 50 cents. You just want everything to be perfect. And communicate the forms of payment that you accept. A lot of times, parents want to send you money, through a digital platform on their phone. As an educator, we cannot commingle our funds. So make sure that if you're accepting checks, make sure they write them out to whom they should be written out to. If you're accepting cards, if you have a card reader, let parents be aware of that. Whatever the forms of payment are, make sure they know. And use all forms of communication: digital platforms, social media, letters sent home, emails, Infinite Campus, whatever you're using to communicate with your parents, use them all, because there's a way that kids usually forget to take stuff home. It stays in their folder all school year, and stick with what works. If your kids are selling popcorn and they made a lot of money off it the year before, don't change it the next year, unless it's going to make you more money. So stick with what works and go for what works and stay there. And it gets really sticky when someone did great on a fundraiser and then you decide that you want to do it too. That can get really frustrating for the person who originated it. If anything, make sure you're not sharing a lot of kids, because that can also get frustrating for the parents to have to repeat the same fundraiser, especially if they're a parent that helps a whole lot with, raising funds for your program. Just make sure that you get approval from them. I found a lot of the resources about this webinar on initlive.com, just about nonprofit event planning. So check it out if you want to. Again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in to these webinars. I hope you've learned something about fundraising, concerts, and field trips. Do share with your colleagues. Do give us feedback, and have a rocking school year.